In this session, we will talk about assessing training need. We have 3 reasons for this. First reason is to determine the training content. Second is to obtain case material. And lastly, to develop a relationship with participants. As we think about doing assessing of training needs or education needs assessment, those are ahead of time. The 3 steps that are required just prior to doing that, the first one in the assessment process is pinpoint the problem. So by interviewing others, you may be able to uncover some underlying issues and even identify key stakeholders that will help you pinpoint the problem so that your training can be tailored and meet the needs and requirements for why the training has been asked for in the first place, or if it is needed. Secondly, we'll confirm the problem by interviewing stakeholders and assessing the effect of the problem on the organization. So this will help you have that confidence as you build the training program and move forward. So pinpoint the problem, that's the first step. Confirm the problem is the second step. And thirdly, to help you put this assessment needs into place and ultimately help to seek solutions and to not just add more issues or problems by identifying possible actions and gaining a consensus on an action plan as you build your active training program. So this is very helpful. As we move into these 3 areas of assessing training needs, next we will look at determining the content and how assessment may help us with that. As we work through assessing the training needs, whether it is for an educational setting or in a workplace education training situation, we need to determine the content, and doing an assessment of the needs is going to be very key to help us see, first, what skills are needed. So what skills do the participants need to have as a result of this training, and why are we doing the training? What are they missing? Therefore, this process helps you develop the content for the participants as you would present that in the training or teaching program. Another area to consider that's key is what information is required for participants. Either if they're students, what is this class about? Is this a prerequisite course? Is there something that they need to have moving forward into the next class? This would be something that would prepare them to be prepared. If it's in a work situation, what sort of information do they need to be successful in their line of work? Are there certain things that the employer needs to get you so that you can include it in the training program? So those are things that will help you as you put together the training program or teaching content. As you see, assessing needs is a critical piece in that. Another great result of doing assessment training needs is that it can produce case material. Because of that, you can actually tailor and relate the training and teaching to real situations and be able to build connections for the participants, things they can actually apply and see happening in their situation. For example, if you're doing a sales training course on an office of automation industry, a trainer can obtain examples of how area sales managers failed to collect ongoing feedback from accounts that made recent purchases. The examples can be woven into role-playing exercises that can successfully engage participants who previously had just liked the artificiality of role-playing in just those generic simulations. It's something that they can visualize and apply back into their situation. I think that is a real great benefit. A result of doing assessing training needs is producing some of this material that you'll need on your behalf for you. The third result of assessing training needs is the most critical, as it helps you build a relationship with the participant that you are working with. It helps you see information can be obtained through the relationship building piece to answer some of the questions here, like what is the nature of the roles and tasks performed by the intended participant? What competencies do these roles and tasks require? How many participants will there be? Obviously, this is real critical for you preparing materials and handouts. If you have those and those sorts of things, you'll need to know how many you'll need to have prepared. Room size, space if you're doing that type of training. If you're doing online teaching, how much bandwidth and how much server space you will need. Availability if you're doing synchronous or asynchronous teaching methods. So all these will be factors in how you design your program as you move forward. Third, how familiar are the participants with the subject matter of the training program? You'll need to know, is it basically starting from scratch, or is it an advanced presentation you'll be doing, or some type of teaching method you'll be using in this active training program for the organization you're working with? What are the ages, sexes, or other important descriptive factors of the participants that may be helpful for you while you plan and figure out how you're going to do this training that you're working on and building? What are their attitudes and beliefs relevant to the training topic of the participant? Are they excited? invited? Are they there on their own free will, or is this something that's mandated? Are they forced to be there? All this will figure in and factor into their attitudes and how you may want to go about designing your interactions with your participants in this training program. So in summary, I would say, and I think we can all appreciate, that assessing needs ahead of time will save us a lot of time and a lot of unnecessary frustration. Just having these things in place ahead of time as you go through a survey or assessment, whether online, on paper, digital, even interview with folks, however you choose to do that ahead of time, really will not only save you the unnecessary frustration, but it will for participants as well. So they know you're on top of the game and you're going to be able to help meet their expectations as well.